Hello there, in today's video I'm going to be talking about 5 pieces of gear that I'm stoked on in 2021. What's up guys, Pi here. I'm a thru-hiker, writer and filmmaker, and on this channel I talk about gear and tips and tricks for ultralight backpacking and thru-hiking. So if that's something that's interesting to you, then do consider hitting the subscribe button. Like a lot of people probably watching this video, I'm constantly tweaking the gear that I take on a backpacking trip, and in this video I'm just talking about 5 pieces of gear that's kind of new to me, or at least I'm really excited about, and I just kind of want to nerd out a little bit. Let's dig in. So first up is the Nest jacket from Dark Peak. I'd not heard of Dark Peak until last year when they reached out to me asking to send me a jacket. I'm usually apprehensive to sort of take on gear in that situation, and I usually generally say no to those kind of offers, but I did a little bit of research and it seemed that Dark Peak was making a legit jacket with really good features, and they use 850 field power responsibly sourced down in their down jacket. And I've been really impressed. It has all the features you would kind of expect for a jacket like this, but some things that really stand out for me is thumb holes. I love thumb holes on any outdoor gear. I wish that more outdoor companies put thumb holes in, because I do suffer from cold hands, so any little help that I can get is much appreciated. And if you don't want to use them, you can tuck them back up inside the sleeve and you don't even know they're there. Another feature that I really like is just the fact that it's pretty chilled out. This is completely black with quite a subdued logo, and so it doesn't scream outdoorsy gear if you do want to wear it kind of around town. It does come in a few different color options, but I'm really digging the black. It fits me really well. It's a maybe kind of more of like a boxy kind of shape, but that just fits me personally. I wear the size medium, and the jacket weighs about 12 ounces, which is like 340 grams, which is a really respectable weight. And for every jacket that Dark Peak sells, they give another one to someone who's been affected by homelessness, which is like a really amazing cause. Go check them out. They're not paying me for this review. They sent me the jacket for testing, but it's just something that I've been really enjoying over the past year or so, and I wanted to let you guys know about it. So next up is, wait a second. So next up is the Northern Ultralight Sundown backpack. I met Sonny, the owner of Northern Ultralight, on my CDT thru hike in 2017. He was carrying a backpack he'd made for himself, and fast forward to now, and he's in charge of a thriving cottage company based out of Canada, and they're churning out the Sundown, which is their kind of flagship product. It's a super dope backpack. It's 46 liters. It's designed specifically for thru hiking. It's a very simple design, like most kind of backpacks should be. Some things that I really dig about the backpack is the very large water bottle pockets that also sit quite flat. You can get plenty of gear inside there. It also has a roll top kind of dry bag style closure with a single top strap, which is my preferred method of a backpack closure. Super stretchy mesh pocket. It does come, it doesn't come with an included hip belt, but you can order one separately. It's very easily removable, as is the frame. It's a framed backpack, but obviously you can remove it quite easily if that's your thing. I personally generally leave the frame in, and depending on the kind of trip I'm going on, will either attach or detach the hip belt based on my needs. It comes in 4 different sizes and a few different colors. The medium weighs 26 ounces, which is like 740 grams. Something I also really like about it is that it has a tapered design, so it's wider at the top than it is at the bottom, which is especially important when you're packing gear inside the pack. It just makes things way easier. And the extension collar is pretty tall, which enables you to carry a little bit more food when you do have a long stretch between towns. It's a dope pack and I highly recommend it. Oh, that's way too hot. Next up is the Zpacks Vertis rain mitts, and these little bad boys weigh 28 grams, which in ounces is like less than an ounce. It's like 0.99 ounces. For the past couple of years now, I have been using the Zpacks Vertis rain jacket and rain pants. I used it on my Sierra trip in 2019 and I absolutely love it. And I personally, like I said earlier in the video, I suffer from cold hands. So on like all of my backpacking trips, I carry at least a thin liner glove like this. This is a brand called Defeat. It's a really good liner glove. Definitely check those out. And then on trips when I'm expecting very cold temperatures or a lot of rain, then I'll bring a waterproof kind of over mitt. And for many years, starting off on the Appalachian Trail, I carried this pair. They're made by a company called Extremities, and they're reasonably lightweight. They weigh 2.8 ounces or 80 grams, so not crazy heavy, and they've been great. But for a product or an item like this that is used very rarely, obviously having something that packs down extremely small and weighs as little as possible is preferable. But that's how small they kind of pack down, like incredibly, incredibly small. And so I just leave them, I will leave them on the inside jacket pocket on the Zpacks rain jacket. I will be using this exact rain gear on my Iceland traverse later this year. Using the rain mitts in conjunction with the liner gloves will enable my hands to stay plenty warm and plenty dry. I'm a little bit worried about how durable the rain mitts are going to be when I'm using trekking poles, like all day, every day. Obviously, only time will tell. One thing I'm not super stoked on is I feel that there's not that much, they're kind of restrictive in the cuff area. And the reason for that is they're meant to be used underneath the cuff of your rain jacket, which makes sense, obviously, from a water standpoint. But I just wish there was a little bit more space in there. I ordered a size medium, but maybe I should have gone with a large. Next up is the Enlightened Equipment copper-filled wind shirt. Wind shirts is something that I really bounce backwards and forwards on. Generally speaking, I don't use them. In very windy conditions, I just throw on my rain jacket. But the copper-filled it packs down ridiculously small. It's like crazy. It's very simple. It only has a hood. It doesn't have any pockets. It just has a drawstring at the kind of the hem, and then there's just elastic at the cuffs. And it weighs 2.2 ounces, which is 63 grams, which is less than the weight of a t-shirt in most instances. Its ability to block wind is actually really impressive. And of course, when we're talking about outdoor gear and outdoor clothing, it's all about layers. This is just a super thin layer that you can throw on to trap in a little bit more body warmth and block out the wind. I am probably going to be using it in Iceland this year. We're expecting pretty cold temperatures, and so just having a very thin layer that I can put on to block out the wind is going to be much appreciated. And I could of course just double it up with this underneath and then my rain jacket on top if it's very wet and very windy. The fifth and final thing I'm talking about today is the Toppo Athletic Terra Venture 2 shoes. If you've been following my channel or my website for a while, you may know that I'm into barefoot running shoes, barefoot sandals, that kind of thing with zero drop. And for years, my go-to shoe has been the Ultra Lone Peak series of shoes. I've experimented with a lot of different shoes from Ultra, but I wanted to try something a little bit different. And my friend Isko here in Helsinki recommended I check out Toppo Athletic. So I ordered the Terra Venture 2s. They do have a 3mm heel to toe drop, but honestly, I've really not noticed it. I've been using these on quite a few trips now and I've been pretty impressed. They do have a Vibram sole, they seem very grippy. One thing I have noticed that they're not quite as flexible as Ultra shoes, or at least the Ultra shoes that I've used. They're not fully broken in yet, but they definitely are a little bit stiffer. But they seem very well made. The mesh is pretty durable. I like the color, not that that really makes any difference. But the critical thing about these is they have the very wide toe box, similar to Ultras, which for me is key. I have extremely wide feet. They're not particularly long, but they're very wide. So having a shoe with a wide toe box is absolutely key. And these tick all the boxes in that regard. So very impressed with them so far. I'm going to continue testing them out. The jury is not out on them yet, because hiking shoes is such a personal thing and you need a lot of time and distance with a good hiking shoe to know if it's really right for you. But so far, so good. And if they turn out to be as good as I think they're going to be, I'll probably be ordering more shoes from Toppo Athletic in the future. So that's it, 5 pieces of gear that I'm really digging at the moment. I'll be leaving links in the description to all these products, and if you do purchase something through those links, you help support me and this channel. But I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did and you found something useful in it, then hit the like button and subscribe. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.